In the scorching swamps of Africa, cold-blooded predators have ruled for millions of years. Their lives are not just about brutal battles, but an endless struggle for survival, where every meal, every breath can be traded for death. In this world, who will emerge as the hunter, and who will fall as the prey? Battle of the Dry Season, the Wanderers. Each year, when the temperature soars to 40 degrees Celsius, Africa's rivers cease to flow and shrink into foul pools of mud and death. This is not just a natural phenomenon. It is a brutal test of survival, where only those who truly adapt can endure. The crocodiles, once feared as the demons of the Nile, are now crammed into shallow, shrinking pools. Their massive bodies lie exposed on the mud, jaws agape, gasping for air to release the heat. Jaws capable of crushing with 3,700 psi now snap at nothing, leaving only frustration behind. It is a paradox of nature. A creature once seen as the embodiment of absolute power, now struggling to survive in its own domain. Yet nearby, the hippos fare no better. They crowd together in shrinking mud holes, and when the scorching heat of the sludge becomes unbearable, rage erupts into deadly clashes, where the fallen are sometimes their very own kind. In the rainy months, the Nile crocodile is a flawless killing machine. But as the dry season stretches on, that power turns to waste. Each strike closes on nothing, mud spraying into the air instead of flesh and blood. The river's demon now thrashes in despair within the murky sludge. The only prey left are a few catfish stranded in the shrinking pools. For a creature that once ruled the river, it is the humiliation of hunger and the raw exposure of survival itself. And in the depths of starvation, it turns on its own kind. A cruel paradox. The river's demon, once the symbol of absolute power, now survives only by tearing apart its own kin. This is not merely a scene of cruelty, but a law of evolution. In the dry season, cannibalism becomes a way for the population to regulate itself. The weak are eliminated, leaving room for the stronger to endure. As the temperature rises higher and higher, a single shrinking pool becomes the prison of more than 30 hippos, crammed into a space barely enough for half their number. The hippopotamus, a giant weighing more than a ton, is usually a gentle creature, resting beneath the water to escape the sun. But when the water disappears, its calm facade evaporates as well. In its place come violent rages and bone-crushing charges that shake the very floor of the drying mud pit. The cause is not just overcrowding. Unlike many other mammals, hippos have no sweat glands. Instead, they secrete a thick, reddish-orange fluid, often called blood sweat. This substance works as a natural sunscreen, an antibacterial shield, and a cooling layer for their skin. But as the pools dry up, this protection is no longer enough. Their skin begins to crack, their bodies fall into stress, and under the relentless heat, they grow unnaturally aggressive. The pressure builds until it finally explodes. Adult males roar, jaws gaping wide to reveal half-meter canines, evolved not for feeding, but for battle. They hurl themselves at one another, tons of muscle colliding with bone-shaking force, the sound of their charges echoing through the drying pit. This is not a random fight. It erupts day after day in the dry season, a ruthless design of nature to ease the pressure on the population. Scientists call it an ecological balance mechanism. When water vanishes and food grows scarce, only the strongest individuals can survive. It may sound cruel, but without it, the entire herd could starve together, collapsing in the suffocating heat of the mud. The defeated males do not die in the mud pit. Their death comes later, slower and far more merciless. Deep wounds weigh down their massive bodies, leaving them unable to rise. Their cracked skin burns as if set aflame beneath the scorching sun. With no water left to cool their bodies, open wounds become gateways for billions of bacteria. Science calls it septicemia, and for an animal weighing more than a ton, it is a death sentence hanging overhead. In just a few days, the infection spreads through the body, bringing down a creature once mighty in agony and exhaustion. With no water left to cool their bodies, open wounds become gateways for billions of bacteria. Science calls it septicemia, and for an animal weighing more than a ton, it is a death sentence hanging overhead. In just a few days, the infection spreads through the body, bringing down a creature once mighty in agony and exhaustion. While the earth cracks below, where crocodiles and hippos pay in blood for every shrinking pool of mud, above, another ruler claims an entirely different world. With wings spanning over 2 meters and eyes sharp as blades, the African fish eagle. Here, the African fish eagle stands as the proud symbol of Africa's great rivers. With a wingspan reaching 2 to 2.4 meters, it glides across the sky like a colossal black and white sail. Its eyes are deadly weapons, able to pierce through the blinding sun and spot a fish breaking the surface from over a kilometer away. Every dive is a death sentence. Its talons, curved, nearly 5 centimeters long, sharp as spears, clamp down with crushing force, piercing through the slippery scales of fish. With a single beat of its wings, the prey is lifted from the water, stripped of any chance to escape. While predators in the river struggle desperately to survive, in the skies, the precision of these talons makes the African fish eagle an undisputed ruler. As the waterholes shrink, fish are forced into shrinking pools, natural traps carved by the sky for a predator above. The eagle wastes no strength lurking in mud, no need for bloody battles. With a single glide, razor-sharp eyes lock onto the target, and talons deliver the end in an instant. High above, the African fish eagle remains calm and unshaken, a chilling reminder of nature's harsh truth. While others bleed and struggle just to survive, some species rise to power by turning crisis into dominance. While the African fish eagle circles high above, its cold, steely eyes tracking every movement below. On the ground, the struggle is far more brutal. The earth is cracked, shade is a luxury, and at the edges of the shrinking waterholes, the most dangerous opportunists are waiting. Lions, golden phantoms hidden in the dry grass, poised to strike the very moment their prey falters from exhaustion. Here, as the dry season heat reaches its peak, lions no longer have the strength for long, exhausting chases. The burning sun forces them to linger near the shrinking waterholes, places where life gathers in desperation. No longer the masters of speed, they become patient stalkers. Every gaze is fixed on the weaker creatures, those who come to drink yet carry exhaustion in their very steps. In the harsh, dry season of the savanna, lions, apex predators, are forced to lower their standards, seeking targets of lesser value. At scattered waterholes, fish-eating birds gather, hunting fish stranded on cracked, parched mud. Among them, pelicans stand out. Their full, swollen bellies make them slow and cumbersome, turning them into potential prey for the lion's golden eyes. But for the lions, a pelican's flesh is too meager, not worth the effort. Their golden eyes flash a hint of disappointment as they realize that this target, slow though it may be, does not offer enough value to hunt. As hunger builds, the lion daringly shifts its gaze to a more dangerous target, the crocodile. Only the young have any chance of being caught. their small bodies and lack of escape experience making them vulnerable. The lion cautiously reaches with its paw, trying to drag the prey out of the water. But the brutal instincts run deep in the crocodile's blood. Even a juvenile thrashes violently. And the mere shadow of an adult crocodile appearing instantly shatters the lion's hopes. On this riverbank, the predator can become the prey at any moment. Savage Serengeti. The savage battles on the plains. Serengeti, a grassland stretching endlessly to the horizon. Hot, dry winds lift layers of dust into the air. Herds of antelope flow like an endless river, while vultures circle above, waiting for their chance. Here, life and death unfold side by side. And at any moment, the silence can erupt into a deadly chase. Here, strength alone doesn't always decide everything. Some survive through cunning, through recklessness, and even through sheer ruthlessness. Baboons are among the most intelligent primates of the Serengeti. They live in large troops, bound by a complex social hierarchy. Their omnivorous nature allows them to thrive in this harsh land, from ripe fruits to insects, and even meat when the opportunity arises. They are opportunistic hunters, ready to ambush young antelopes or unsuspecting birds. Yet, in this unforgiving land, they are also prey themselves when confronted by lions, leopards, or crocodiles. They may appear to be nothing more than troublemakers, yet in reality, they possess an astonishing mind. Baboons remember the faces of every member in their troop, understand the hierarchy, and know when to forge alliances or betray others to survive. In several experiments, their intelligence has been compared to that of a human child between 3 and 5 years old, capable of calculation, memory, and even deception. It is this very social IQ that makes them masters of opportunity, knowing precisely when to take risks and when to retreat. Baboons are not professional hunters. They lack the raw muscle. Yet they spread fear through sheer intelligence and cunning. Rarely do they waste energy on large prey. Instead, their sharp, calculating eyes lock onto the most fragile targets. Young antelopes, barely steady on their feet, trailing the herd. Meanwhile, a leopard stalks in silence. It slinks low to the ground, each step as quiet as shadows, sliding through the grass. Before the herd of antelopes can sense the danger, the nightmare strikes. The leopard explodes forward, speed unleashed, sending the herd scattering in chaos. In that fleeting chaos, the baboons emerge. They would never be foolish enough to challenge a leopard head-on. Instead, they wait for order to collapse. Amid pounding hooves and clouds of dust, they rush in, seizing any young antelope left behind. This is their art of deceitful hunting. They don't need the lightning speed of a leopard, nor the overwhelming strength of a lion. All they need is chaos, and they turn it into a feast for the entire troop. But their cunning doesn't end there. Across the Serengeti plains, ostrich nests, with eggs the size of an entire feast, are irresistible targets. They wait patiently for the mother to leave, then quickly smash through the thick shells to steal the rich nutrition inside. Devious and relentless. But their cunning doesn't end there. Across the Serengeti plains, ostrich nests, with eggs the size of an entire feast, are irresistible targets. They wait patiently for the mother to leave, then quickly smash through the thick shells to steal the rich nutrition inside. Devious and relentless. From the distance, the golden shadow of a lion emerges in silence. It moves as quietly as the wind, every muscle rippling with power, each step dissolving into the whisper of wild grass. Only one thing remains between them, and death draws ever closer. In the fleeting moment before the baboon troop can even react, tragedy strikes. A lightning-fast pounce, claws tightening, screams shattering the stillness of the grasslands. The cunning thief becomes a victim in an instant, claimed by the unforgiving law of survival. This is the price of recklessness. On the Serengeti, no creature is allowed to drop its guard, not even for a single heartbeat. And this is the fate of the deceiver. On every African plain, from the vast Serengeti to the majestic Masai Mara, there is one ruler that commands the respect of all nature. The lion, a symbol of power and an unending source of fear. Their bodies are forged for war, every muscle honed, their sense of smell razor sharp, their vision piercing even the darkness of night. Every part of a lion's body is a weapon, from the eyes that track a prey's slightest movement to the fangs that can tear through thick hide. Nature has bestowed upon them the near-perfect body of a predator, and it is this perfection that has made lions the eternal symbol of the savannah. But unlike many other predators, here it is not the mighty males that spread terror. It is the lionesses. They are the true hunting machines, swift, enduring, and masters of strategy. Though lions are not ranked highly for intelligence when compared to primates, they lack the ability to solve complex problems or use tools. But nature has compensated them with an even deadlier weapon, the instinct of the collective. Once the target is chosen, the lionesses spread out in all directions, some driving the prey from behind, while others silently cut it off at the front. Meanwhile, a few lie in patient ambush ahead of the herd. When the trap closes, whether it is a buffalo or an antelope, the victim finds itself caught in a deadly grip. No matter how fast or strong, few prey can escape when surrounded from every side. This is the true power of lions, not in the strength of the individual, but in the flawless coordination of the pride. It is this ability to encircle and coordinate that has made them the true conquerors of the savannah. No creature is exempt, from the fragile herds of antelope to the massive buffalo. All can become targets. Even other predators, such as hyenas or leopards, are forced to yield when the shadow of a lion appears. But that is only the dazzling facade of the lion. Behind this shell of power lie endless trials. For on the savannah, even those who seem invincible must face failure, hunger, and the looming shadow of death. While the lionesses are busy hunting to sustain the pride, elsewhere, the mighty males face a different responsibility: defending their throne. Male lions do not live only to protect the pride. They must also be ready for a far greater battle, fighting their own kind. When a stranger steps into their territory, the challenge ignites instantly. Roars shake the savannah. Dust rises as colossal bodies collide. Claws slash, jaws lock, wounds tear across flesh. This is no longer a simple fight for survival, but a war for the throne. The victor earns the right to rule, to mate, to defend the pride. The defeated is left with wounds, exile, and sometimes a lonely death. On the Serengeti, there is no place for the weak. By the river, a predator spreads terror like no other. Still as a drifting log, hidden beneath the murky waters, it waits for the slightest lapse. No sound, no warning, only death lurking beneath the silent surface. The crocodile, the phantom of the river, the creature that makes every living being tremble before daring to drink. Crocodiles can remain motionless for hours, even days, by slowing their heartbeat to just 2 to 3 beats per minute. This unique mechanism allows them to conserve energy and remain almost perfectly hidden within still waters. With eyes and nostrils positioned high on their heads, crocodiles can watch and breathe while their entire bodies stay submerged. A near-perfect design of nature, turning them into one of the most dangerous ambush predators of rivers and lakes. With the patience of a phantom and the most powerful bite in the animal kingdom, crocodiles are the eternal nightmare of every creature that dares to step to the river's edge. What do you think? Are crocodiles on land still as fearsome as they are in the water? In the water, crocodiles are an unstoppable nightmare. But on land, everything changes. Without the cover of water, every step becomes heavy and sluggish. It is in these moments that crocodiles themselves can easily become targets for other predators. A pride of lions can coordinate an attack, and this is when lions can turn the river's killer into the defeated.